Hi, in this story, there was a huge contractor. I'll just jump right down here. The guy bought about $1 million a year annually of warehouse orders to feed 35 van techs operating out of 4 locations in Orange County, California. And a distributor who was doing business with this guy had him at the bottom of their customer profitability ranking report. And basically, the guy was giving the king, as they called him, was giving the distributor one order a day, 250 business days in a year, and averaging about $20 an order. So maybe they had six, seven, $8 in margin. Um, but if you looked at the items, they were all random, exotic C and D kind of items. There weren't any A plus commodities at all. So right away, the symptoms suggest this guy's a cherry picker. He's calling other suppliers, obviously, to get his commodity stuff, and he's calling us for geeky dust collecting kind of items. If you checked into the terms that this guy was enjoying because he was a triple A plus huge potential customer, he didn't have any order minimum. He got free freight on any size order. Because he was a big guy, he got big guy contract prices on every SKU and two key supplier lines. So, he's not buying the A plus items from that supplier line. He's buying the C and D, the parts and pieces from that supplier line. So we're not only are we giving him geeky items that nobody else has, we're charging him lower prices for it too. The guy had the nerve to go 60 days and take a discount. Why you'd even want to take a discount on nothing is sort of interesting. There was a rep assigned to the account, and he was an old school rep who called on the guy every week because he had taken a time and territory course back in 70s or 80s or something, and it said really big guys you call in every week, and not so bigger guys you call twice a week, twice a month, 3 times a month, 4 times a month. The guy had kind of A through K accounts where he had one customer he called once a year, which are wasted calls. If you call a guy once a year, you don't have any kind of chemical consulting rapport insight into what the guy's doing. Better just to call him 4 times a year on the phone. So at any rate, this was the woeful state of things. Our estimated loss from this guy was about $15,000 a year. So we said, well, what if we went out there and just unilaterally said, hey, King, here are the new terms, take him or leave him. He said, I'm leaving him, and he quit. He stopped buying his $5,000 of sales a year. What would be plan B? Well, if we kept track of transactions per day, per inside sales, warehouse people, and so forth, we would know how much slack we had, and we may lay some off if we had least productive people we didn't want to keep. Or conversely, if we were working hard on nicheonomics and doing more with the core, through better, more effective fill rates, etc., our business would be growing there anyway. So this would allow us to, and now we're getting busy. So we don't hire more people. We just go at the bottom of the report and play hardball with some of these cherry pickers. So at any rate, the CEO, that would be me, and the rep called on the king with no appointment. And lo and behold, the rep had never talked with the king. He'd seen him down the hall type of thing. But the king was immediately curious and flattered, and we got right in and had an interview because it's the protocol effect. He had heard that some new guy, that would be me, had bought this distribution business based out of San Diego, and it was big news in the industry and so forth. So now you're me, and you're walking in, you're face to face with the king. The question would be, what would my questioning strategy be? What would I ask this guy in what order, and why would I ask that, and what would I sort of conclude, and then what would I ultimately do at the end based on the king's answers? Morals of part one of the story are all big guys shouldn't get automatic big guy service contract prices and so forth because they could be cherry pickers. Second rule is if you look at detailed SKU and will call activity, you can pick out the cherry pickers in a minute because there is just an absence of big volume A plus commodity stuff that they're buying from their buddies. So in the sequel to this clip, we'll talk about what did I ask the king and conclude with the king. Thank you.